Doing today? I hope you're doing great. It is our third day in a row for producing the Super Entrepreneur News, which gotta turn the air conditioner off, which I'm having so much fun with. It's such an honor to be here and to be able to answer your questions at the end of doing the or EntrepreNEWS, I should say. Today we have a really great lineup. We're talking about Macy's and Amazon getting into a battle. We're talking about a shortage of stuff that's going on right now in the UK, which I thought was important because it gives an opportunity for us to like think outside the box, see what we could do, think about, what could we do to get to like, hey, what kind of shortages are we experiencing where we live? And this is a global show, so I welcome news outside of just the United States. We also have the $400,000 burned up house that's in Massachusetts. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I wanted to bring one other article up about a new product from Amazon that I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not quite happy about it. I'm not quite bad about it. I don't know. I want to get your opinion, and then of course I'll answer all your questions that you have at the end of going through these stories. So today, Macy's is trying to block Amazon from advertising atop of its Herald Square store, which is in New York City. If you're not familiar, this is. Is this a picture? This is the Herald Square. Yeah, I've been to this store. I've been in it like one time, probably like over 10 years ago, or probably around 10 years ago or so. But I've been past it many a times over the years. So basically the key points of it, we'll just run down here. Macy's is embroiled in a legal battle with its landlord to prevent Amazon from marketing on a billboard that sits atop of its most iconic flagship store. The department store chain has asked New York City-based Kaufman organization to stop the potential deal with Amazon to use the billboard atop its storied Herald Square location, according to a lawsuit filed in state Supreme Court in Manhattan. Macy's is claiming that any advertisements from its online competitor could cause immeasurable harm to its business. I think the next best thing to having an actual store an Amazon store in New York City is having really well placed advertising. Right, the store for Amazon is literally everywhere. Not to say that Amazon isn't starting to put stores out there. I know they have like the personless checkout where you just literally pick stuff up off the shelf and walk out, and it charges your Amazon account for it. But I want to say them strategically looking at where they are going to be placing their advertising is exactly why I wanted to bring this article up. Not just because it's about Amazon, it's about Macy's, having a battle kind of indirectly, but directly. I think that if when you're putting your business marketing strategy together, it's so important for you to make a decision of, where are we going to spend those dollars, right? What's going to give us the best bang for the buck opportunity for business, to bring business in. And in this case, Amazon, it's almost kind of like trolling your competitor across the street. There's that classic story of like there's three bookstores all next to each other, and one says like, oh, we got the biggest, disc, 50% off, and then one next to it says 70% off, and they have an even bigger sign. And where do you put like your bookstore in the middle? What do you put there? Well, the guerrilla marketing aspect would just say entrance. And that's where people are going, in theory, they'll see the word entrance and they'll walk right into your bookstore where you're not necessarily giving 60% off. Those deals probably are only in a handful of books anyway. anyway, but people, it gets people's attention. So I think there's some guerrilla marketing tactics here that you can learn by having your advertising budget be strategically strategically used so that you're getting the most out of it. Maybe it's a local, local expos or local shows or local gatherings, things of that nature that hits a really specific local target of hopefully a specific demographic. And if you need help on identifying your avatar, go to superjoepardo.com/avatar and get my free PDF workbook. It just drop in your email address, you'll get it. And it has 64 questions to help you identify your ideal customer right there. But yeah, so this is I think this is kind of funny. So we'll try to track this story to see what progresses with the Macy's v Amazon saga. So next, we're going to talk about shortage problem, what the UK is running low on and why. So cars, new and used cars. I mean, that's some of this stuff is not going to make be that surprising when you compare to what the United States has. There's a chip shortage. It's a global chip shortage. So there's a lack of new cars out there and a lack of used cars. I know. There was a question, or there was a thing that was brought up on a podcast I was listening to a couple weeks back. Like, man, if we just had all those cars that we did the cash for clunkers back in the day, and they were like literally, crushing cars and paying people, $5,000 to have these old cars crushed. Hey, at least we'd have that inventory back, potentially still in through the cycle versus not having it at all. Fuel apparently is they are running out of fuel in the UK. I mean, that presents so many problems since there's so many just so many industries that rely on fuel. I mean, we've had similar type issues here, but apparently in the UK they are struggling too. Milk. The shortage of lorry drivers means that supermarkets are not getting as many deliveries as they used to. So when they sell out a particular product, it takes longer for them to get. Fresh produce, such as milk, is particularly badly affected. So that is terrible to hear. Meat, among other grocery items, sometimes missing on the shelves. Shoppers are finding that they can't buy their favorite cuts of meat, which well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, we need proteins, right? And if meat is your jam, then we'll take any meat at a certain point. Toys and trees. Yeah, the Christmas tree shortage is real apparently, and it's coming to it's going to be at a Christmas near you. And toys, I know we've already started to buy some of our Christmas toys and presents, just because we don't want to wait till the last minute and then not be able to get anything for the kids come Christmas time. Timber and cement. These are two things that absolutely have been a problem here in America as well. So it's almost like kind of like a rehash story, but what I wanted to point out with it is that like everybody everywhere is feeling the crunch in a lot of different ways, and it's almost kind of like the shell game where you're just moving, where's the ball now, right? Where's the target that we're trying to hit, and can we accomplish that? Can we accomplish getting enough people into one sector to satisfy that? And that's where it being EntrepreNEWS, I think it's important for us to look at those shortages, and then if you're looking for an opportunity, if you're looking for a business opportunity to start, look where those shortages is. Those are pain points. Go where the pain points are and figure out what you can do to provide for that pain point, right? And but as we learned in yesterday's EntrepreNEWS, don't overextend yourself, like in the case of masks and or hand sanitizers, where now they literally are just giving them away as much as possible because they can't have them sitting on their shelves forever. I want to give a quick shout out to Super Denny down here in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us, Denny. today on this EntrepreNEWS. The third story that I'd like to bring up here is a story about, and we all know that we all know the housing market has been crazy. Massachusetts housing market so hot, a burned up house is going for almost $400,000 when the median homes in the state are $530,000 to $552,000. So, look, land is worth something, right? But that would tend to mean that the average house there is only, if the land is worth 400,000, the average is worth 135,000, and I'm sure those houses are bigger than that, so are worth more than that. So here's a picture of the house. Apparently it was severely damaged back in August. It's the windows got blown out from the fire. Absolutely terrible. I hope nobody was hurt. I assume nobody was hurt, because I would think that it would have been mentioned. But yeah, for $399,000, you could be the owner of this house that is basically needs to be torn down, or just completely torn down to the studs and rebuilt from the ground up. It's 1,857 square foot. Let's see if I open listing. Yeah, it's a 3-bedroom. It's called out for contractors. House is in need of complete renovation or potential tear down and rebuild. Buyer to do due diligence. Yeah, so you're not getting a big thing. So you're not getting a big deal here, but it kind of goes and it says, what does that say about the market, the housing market, and what we could do? I just noticed there's actually a pumpkin. Somebody put a pumpkin right here. I don't know if I can blow it up big enough for you to really see it. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it there. There's a pumpkin on the front door as we get into the fall and October. But yeah, the housing market has been crazy. I work with a couple of real estate agents, and to see like the fact that every little thing can make such a big difference as far as like what an offer is from somebody who's looking to buy the said house, to what the what other people are willing to pay like 10, 20, 30, $40,000 over what the asking price is, has just thrown everything out of whack. The reason I wanted to bring up the story wasn't just because it's a housing market crazy, but I think that there is signs, a lot of signs here, and I can get more into this if you want to see more of that. Smash that like button down below. But there's signs that the housing market is starting to cool off a bit, and that the offers, what people are posting their houses for are not getting like, oh, it's like, hey, I listed it for 300,000, and now we're automatically having to offer 10 or 20 or 30,000 over just to get our foot in the door. I think that it's kind of getting to a breaking point. The other thing is, and I don't know if you've noticed this where you live, if you live in the States, or I'm not 100% sure about what's going on in other countries around the world, but there's a lot more houses going on the market. So I think that the houses that are great, are still probably going to fetch a higher price. But I think that's going to start equalizing out here as more inventory starts to pour into the market, and potentially pull things back. Through the last year and a half, there was quite a few people that, I talked to about their buying decisions for housing and all that. And like I said, I'm working with these real estate agents. You really, it made sense to sell your house and buy in somewhere if, and only if, this was like, this is my dream home. This is where I plan on staying, because we don't know what the next 5 years is going to bring. And there very much could be a huge correction, a huge pullback, as people, start to sell, more people start to open up and sell their houses. We don't want to see, I know I don't want to see people stuck super upside down in the house that they have that they didn't fall in love with and absolutely love. So I think we're going to see that that pullback probably. I don't know. It might be another 6 months or so, but I'm telling you, just drive around your own neighborhood as you're driving around, look around. You'll start seeing a lot more houses. I mean, at least in my area, in the Northeast here, in the Philly area, people are absolutely selling their house. More houses are up for sale than not. So, just be aware that if you're you're willing to pay that price, it's a house you really want to stay in. It's a situation that you can buy into. Where you're at, where you're at with your job, your work, your business. Everything needs to be really like we're going to be here for a while. And this isn't like a today kind of thing. And tomorrow we just don't know. So again, I want to thank everybody for being here. It's so fun to have people here. Again, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. I got one more story to roll through here. And let's see. Amazon announces Astro, the home robot. I know this is, I love tech, right? So I'm going to always try to find a way to either Disney or technology or both. I don't know how to feel about this. I would love to see in the comments below, or in the chat, what your opinion is. So basically, this is a roll around Jibo. If you've ever heard of Jibo, if you know what Jibo is or don't know what Jibo is, it was like this robot that they were like, oh, we're gonna put like a cute face on it, and it can like shake around and dance. And let me see if I refresh. Yeah, you can kind of see it like do its wobble thing, and it's kind of like an Amazon Echo or a Google Home, voice thing, but with like a screen that could like kind of could take pictures for you and that kind of stuff. Pretty cool. And this reminds me of that, right? The Jibo was pretty expensive. I don't remember what the price was. It never really got off the ground. Apparently, if you go to their website, they're back. They are, I guess, re-releasing it, which is cool. I guess they had a lot of disruption and just not good experience. There's plenty of videos showing the Jibo out there. It was a crowd-funded thing, but so it shows like, oh, it has like this extendable camera that comes out of the top. And there's a whole video you can go and check out on their website. But so it's not it's $999, and for $999, I don't know if it does enough, and it also seems kind of creepy to me. To like, it's one thing to have a camera, right? Like a camera that we place and we know what it can see, and then it's like, okay, so like worst case, Jeff Bezos is looking at my house, or Mark Zuckerberg's looking at my house, and they're only seeing this little portion of something. This is a rolling robot, and it shows. So if I go here, I can show a little bit of the video. So like the idea is that you can do like video calls. To me, I think this is kind of the coolest. So like they showed like, oh, these guys like, oh, I left the oven on. Did I leave the oven on? Well, I have the live view. I can drive it over and check, is the oven on? And the answer in this case was no, the oven was not left on. Where's the kid talking to like their grandparents? This is not loading very quickly. So it was like, oh, well, you can like have the grandmother like drive around as if she was there. And like follow the kid around to like watch the kid play, or see like the neighbor coming or the dog walker coming into your house, which I don't know. Like I said, you could just have cameras for that. Apparently it can dance. It can like wobble its screen and stuff. It can like walk around and like patrol your house and listen for noises and like glass breaking and stuff. I don't know. For $1,000, it seems that's the introductory price. It's actually going to be almost $1,500 when it actually comes out. So the thing is, it's also showed a video of it driving past a dog, like the house dog, and I'm like, I'd be worried my dog is going to chew this thing, thinking it's a toy because it's on the ground, or the dog toys that are laying around, or my kids' toys that are laying around. It's going to get stuck on. I mean, like our iRobot that I have, I actually moved it out here to the studio because there's no kids' toys on the ground, so it doesn't get stuck very often. Unlike when it was, in the house with kids' toys and rugs and with blankets and stuff on the ground. So maybe there's something here. Like maybe even not just your for home, but for business, right? Like if I had a place that was like a remote location that I would go to for like an office or something like that, it might be a cool thing to have around an office. Now, one thing I would like to see though is an extension. Like they have the extension, they're showing that here to see, like you can watch a pot. So having a mobile camera is cool. Again, I just don't know. I don't know. But I would like to see the screen be extendable. So you can have the screen like at least 4 foot, 5 foot high. So you can have like a legitimate conversation. So you're not like looking down while the camera is extended up looking at you. I don't know. I think the screen being able to be extendable would be preferable for like video conference calls and things of that nature. And apparently it also comes with a Ring Protect Pro subscription, which is cool. So to piggyback off of this, because while we're on the topic of Amazon today, I saw this and I thought I want to mention this somewhere. I wasn't sure where to put it in, but because we're talking about this Astro, and I keep wanting to call it a Jibo, like this thing. Billie Eilish apparently, and I love Billie Eilish, but they put together an Echo Studio, and somebody thought that this was great design. I don't. I love Billie Eilish. I think she's awesome. Love the music and all that. But who thought that like, let's just put her face on it. Let's just put like what I would be more interested in. And here's a picture of her holding it, which is, cool, whatever. But ultimately, why not have her design a design that goes on the Echo, right? So I think to me, that's the missed opportunity, because I don't really want to look at Billie Eilish's face in my living room like that. It doesn't. I mean, and this look doesn't give me the right impression. So I would have rather have seen her, like, give her the opportunity to design her own, and maybe she designed it and thought maybe I'll just put my face on it and we'll go for like that autumn vibe, earth colors and stuff. I don't know, but I just feel like that it's a missed opportunity. Like I would, and talking with my friend Mike, he was saying, what the real missed opportunity is here is why not come up with one that that can be like skinned. So you could have, the Billie Eilish, and you could buy like a Snoop Dogg, colored design that, and be able to like swap it out. Almost like the toilet paper or the tissue covers that you put, you cover the tissue box with, something to that effect. I just think it's a missed opportunity, and I was like, I can't. This actually looks really small, actually, now that I'm looking. It looks pretty big here, but for being, and it looks big when she's holding it, but then you see that, and I'm like, well, that doesn't seem pretty big at all. But it seems big when she's holding it. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But yeah. So that is the EntrepreNEWS today. We didn't get any questions in the chat, but if you have a question, I will be here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, as always, because this is only the third day. And I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in one of the next video. Oh, one of the next videos over here. Take care.